Hi everyone, I'm having a kind of a rough time today, so I'm going to keep this reading short. I'm going to pull 3 for the Divine Feminine, pull 3 for the Divine Masculine, and then pull 1 for the overall energy and advice, but not going to go into my regular spiel. But it is Twin Flame Tuesday, and I wanted to give you at least something. But really just want to snuggle with my dogs and watch Miranda. I came across this BBC show. It was filmed in like 2009. So funny. It's kind of like Bridget Jones meets like, it has some like Mr. Bean moments too. It's not just like the physical comedy. It's funny, but it's a BBC show. See, I'm out of it. I'll get to rest. But yes, feeling a little down, so I want to keep it quick, give you the best reading possible for the circumstances. So let's get 3 cards for the Divine Feminine, 3 cards for the Divine Masculine, 1 card for the overall energy, and if it doesn't resonate, it might resonate next week. We're all on different timelines. May Gray. Today, Gray and May. Ooh, guys, we have the Lovers. That's a good sign. The Twin Flames. That's putting me in a better mood. Okay, so 3 shuffles. 3 cards for the Divine Feminine and 3 cards for the Divine Masculine. I heard an interpretation of the Lovers the other day that said, you know, some people say it's like the duality within ourselves, like our masculine and feminine energy. And then of course it can mean like your actual love, right? But they took it like a step further and they were like, once your inner masculine and feminine energies are aligned, right? Like once you become whole within yourself to where those are like balanced out, then you attract like another whole person who has balanced out their energies, right? And so that's kind of like twin flamey. I mean, obviously with lovers love, right? But it's very twin flamey, just to like mirror each other. And like whenever you work on issues, you help them work on their issues, right? Because you can like telepathically feel each other and you mirror each other. So any like healing work that you're doing, you are healing them and healing the connection and healing the collective, right? So self-love, right? Like taking time to yourself to realign yourself is a good thing for everyone involved, okay? 3 cards for the Divine Feminine. We have the 7 of Cups reversed. We have the 9 of Staves. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. I'm feeling, you know, I have been irritable all day, and it's my own stuff, and you know, perhaps I am picking up a little bit of the collective Divine Feminine, but you know, if this is resonating, like I said, great, and if it's not, then check back in next week. But I'm kind of getting the sense that the Divine Feminine has hit a wall in people or situations that aren't meeting her expectations, so she's a little guarded, right? It's like she knows what she wants, and she's not having these like high expectations, right? She has like gone through all the fantasies, all the illusions, and it's not just about like, I want him to be 6'5" and have a job that pays 6 figures and blah, 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 right? It's more like, I want someone in alignment with me, right? This is like lovers, alignment. Like I said, that inner divine masculine within ourselves. And so, I'm getting like a really tired energy. And again, that could be me projecting it onto this reading. But, like I said, some feminines will resonate too, right? It's just kind of like not letting go of the dream, not letting go of all the things you've manifested, just sort of like taking a break, being a little tired of all the effort put in, right? All the effort put in to manifest what you want, right? Like, I'm going to say affirmations every day. I'm going to make my vision board. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to, like, make my dreams come true. And so I think she's kind of at a place where she's a little exhausted. Like, she's close to the finish line because the 9 of Staves is one less staff away from the 10 of Staves, which is the finish line, right? But the lesson from the 9 of Staves is that you're carrying too many burdens and you should just let some go. So you're almost to the finish line, but you just need to get rid of some burdens, right? And with this 10 of Pentacles reversed, you might be like reevaluating your values. You might be sort of restructuring what that finish line even is, right? And it's not even about like chucking all of your dreams in the can. It's just more about like, I need to take a break from all this like active manifesting law of attraction stuff, you know, just kind of like saving up your steam and sort of reaffirming what you want, right? Sort of reviewing what you want. Is it Pluto that's in retrograde right now? And these are timeless, so they could really be any time, but if you're watching them like on the dot, then Pluto might have something to do with it. But I know the South Node is in Capricorn and the North Node is in Cancer. So Capricorn, this is a Capricornian card to me. The 10 of Pentacles, it's all about long-term goals and putting in that incremental progress to get to the big outcome. And it's kind of like letting go of that push to get up the mountain, right? That like climb up the mountain. This is like a mountainous card too. It's like someone carrying staves up a hill. You know, they have all these burdens that they're carrying up a hill. It's kind of a Sisyphus existential card where like you roll a rock up a hill, you get to the top of the hill and the rock rolls back down. So you just go back down the hill and push the rock back up, and then the rock rolls back down. Sort of life, right? Once you achieve something, you have to start all over and then push, push, push to get to the top again. So, but it can also mean a guarded card too. So let's get on to the Divine Masculine to see what he's going through. 8 of Cups. Three of Cups. And the 4 of Staves. I'm going to get a drink of water. Give me just a second. Guys. Ah, water is life. Do you like my minion cup? Okay, so the 8 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, and the 4 of Staves. On a surface level, he could be retreating from friendships or social situations. He could even be retreating from sort of being that like big man on campus, play the field, because the connections are just kind of superficial, right? Like no connection can compare to the connection he felt with you. So it's just like, I'm moving away from this, you know, like this isn't giving me any satisfaction. It might give like some sort of glory among his guy friends, and this could be male or female. We all have masculine and feminine energy in us, right? But just sort of moving on to the next phase in his life that's going to give him a little more oomph than what his current connections or past connections have given him. Not taking love taking dating and relationships so frivolously, moving out of a place of stability and home and foundations and knowing where your next boom boom it's gonna be, right? I'm not having to like chase and deal with these, like, I'm just like seeing like dumb girls and like I'm not gonna say like dumb because like it's, you know, strong woman feminist, I'm supposed to like build up women, but I just feel like superficial connections, superficial relationships, even if they sort of put on an air of depth to them, it's like an act, you know, like a shallow sense of depth. If that makes any sense, right? Like, they can read like all the astrology books, but when it comes down to like deep analysis, it's still like pop astrology, you know, something like that. And I'm actually getting sort of a mirroring here, because when I said that the divine feminine is stepping back, I feel like maybe she has attempted to move on. Maybe she has attempted to, you know, release her divine masculine and move into another connection, but it's just kind of getting met with, like, it's hard to date after you have that connection. It's not impossible, and I'm not going to say that, like, you know, you can't be with anyone other than your twin flame or anything like that. It's just, I think maybe she's sort of recognizing how shallow her past connections were, how shallow her current situations are, and sort of like wondering, I get sort of like putting it into the hands of God at this point, right? Because it's like this understanding on both parties that there's no need to push for a connection that's meant to be. You know what I mean? There's no need to push to find a replacement if you're meant to be with who you're meant to be with, right? In another scenario, the divine masculine, again, is walking away from fun party times, from a party lifestyle, from a, like, you know, frivolous, shallow connections, and sort of like nesting, like to make a home for you. It's interesting because we have the Four of Wands over, we have the Four of Wands over the Ten of Pentacles, which is both like a, it's like a long-term commitment, a long-term relationship, both of these. This is more about home and foundation, and the Ten of Pentacles is more about values and like long-term success, right? Let's get the overall energy. Oh, we have the Three of Swords reversed. So yeah, I think maybe the divine masculine and the divine feminine are just sort of healing, going through a process of healing, and it's healing not just the separation of their twin flame. You know, that could be part of it, but I feel like just sort of healing maybe all that they allowed in their lives, healing like old patterns they used to go through. And I'm speaking about both divine feminine and divine masculine because they are mirroring, like I said. But healing, like, I feel a big ego death with this, you know, like healing who they started out this life being, and then somewhere along the way, you know, they were conditioned to think these different things about love and life, and so they're sort of healing that conditioning, right? And I feel on both parts a big sense of ownership, right? Like, it's not like a victim thing of like, oh, this person was toxic, I moved away from this toxic person, their karmic relationship, blah, 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 blah. I think it's more like, you know, an understanding of this is what my soul needed to experience to help me grow. And, you know, I made mistakes and I let things happen and I, you know, didn't do X, Y, Z and all of that. And we can't change the past, and I take ownership of that. But all of this is telling me there's a re-examination taking place of how to move forward, right? Like, learning from the past, this 8 of Cups, walking away, right? This 9 of Staves, everything we built, all the, you know what the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands remind me of? They remind me of that Queen song, We Are the Champions. And so, Freddie Mercury says, but it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. Basically saying, like, to get to be a champion, to get to be number one, you have, like, it's that iceberg, right? That meme that goes around the internet where it's like success, like everyone sees this iceberg of success and like they're wowed by this iceberg, but they don't see underneath the water. There's this big, like huger chunk of ice that indicate like the struggles you went through, the rejection you faced, the all the hardships, all the like karmic lessons and all of that stuff. So I feel like this is like a resting spot to sort of evaluate even like your accomplishments, right? Like we talked about re-examining your mistakes and stuff, but this is, I think, re-examining what you've accomplished in the lessons you've learned and the love you've shared with others, whether it's with twin flame, karmic, anything. Because the 8 of Cups isn't really a bitter card. It's about, you know, I built this life with someone and it served me at the time and there was a lot of love there, right? There was, with 8 Cups, if we see the 7 of Cups is usually like options, and it has different things in different cups. Like one cup has a jewel in it, and one cup has a dragon, and which cup are you going to choose, right? So it's like we get to the 8 of Cups, and we have had highs and lows. We've had jewels and dragons, right? And it's just, it's not serving us anymore. But there's no need to not honor that connection, right? There's no need to be like, well, must not been the perfect guy for me because he left me. Well, you know, stuff like that. It's more about saying, you know, we felt a lot of love and that was a great connection, but my soul has graduated, my soul has ascended, my soul has moved to a higher level, I've leveled up, and these connections, these like superficial 3 of Cups connections, they're just not doing it for me anymore. This like, I just heard send nudes. But seriously, like the way we do things today, I mean, like part of the mission of the twin flame journey is to shift the paradigm, the divine feminine, divine masculine, and how we love and how we date and how we enter relationships. And while that that paradigm is changing with technology and stuff, I feel like it's been going on ever since, even before stuff like Tinder or even before stuff like, you know, texting and all of that. It's just more out in the open now. But I get the sense that the Divine Feminine is a little just over it, you know, over that game, over the game of sort of flirting how she used to flirt, and like she doesn't really chase guys like she used to chase. It's just sort of like recalibrating herself. And with this Ten of Pentacles reversed, it's sort of like recalibrating her values. Like, did I really, like, think that was important? Did I really, like, think that would build a relationship? Like, anyway, but just being a little, like, bored and jaded with the current dating pool, just because she's not meeting those high-level connections, right? She's having the same superficial connections, and so just kind of being over it. But it is a good place. I mean, we got the Lovers, great card. We got the Four of Staves, great card. And then this Three of Swords, we're healing. So if you're wondering, like, when are we going to come back in union, or are we going to reunite? You know, that's not really my jam. My jam is more to help you deal with emotional challenges. And I would say you guys are dealing with that really well right now. But, you know, part of being in 3D separation with your twin flame is sort of realizing, like having a deeper understanding of that 5D connection, right? Because without that 3D separation, it's kind of hard to verify that 5D connection, right? So that scarcity, that physical distance, like the more synchronicities you see, the more telepathic communication you have, the more you mirror each other like that, the better it is, right? For a while, you know, when I would listen to these twin flame readings, the men, the women, or the feminine and the masculine would be pretty opposite, right? But they seem to be sort of flattening out and aligning with each other to where they're having the same energies. And that's good, because in this experience you may have had like a roller coaster of emotions that you couldn't really explain, right? Because you were like, you know, some of them were genuine feelings, but some of them it was like, I was doing fine today, why am I like crying now? It's because you were feeling your twin flame, right? If they were like at the opposite end of you, like the polar extreme in the emotions, then like you felt that, right? And the same goes with you. If you were like having a rough time, then they felt that, and they were like, what? Like, why am I so like emotional? What's happening? So now that we are evening out, now that we are leveling out, now that we're like really mirroring each other, then we don't have those fluctuations of emotion, right? We don't have those like that roller coaster. I think I'm going to leave it there. Let me know if that resonated. Of course, I love you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personal reading, you know what to do. I love you. Bye.